Well, it's about that time. The other day, I put a poll up on our Facebook page to see what y'all would be interested in seeing me unbox first between Masters of the Universe Classics, Origins, and some of the Masterverse New Eternia figures. So the winner was the Classics line. So I think the majority of everybody that participated in that poll wants to see the Classics that I'm going to unbox. So I've got a few here. Some I've had for a while. Some are recent acquisitions and everything that I picked up at Toy Show and some of my friends and everything. So we're going to start with those. I'm not going to do a ton. I've actually got 5 different items here that I'm going to unbox. And first will be the Classics MOTU Lock. Got him. I've had him for a while. So, and then I picked up Moss Man. I'm going to unbox Moss Man. I've got Grizzlord. I have Cyclone. And then I got this at the Gadsden Collector Con from my buddy John. I have Battle Cat. So he'll be the last one. He'll be my final unboxing and everything. So, because I also recently picked up the new Masterverse New Eternia Panther. So I'm going to set it up with my larger scale figures because I kind of set my Classics and my Masterverse together on my shelf behind me here. And so he's going to be the offset to that new Panther because I haven't had anything other than the Classic Vintage Battle Cat and then an Origins Battle Cat. So, okay, without any further ado, let's go ahead and start with the MOTU Lock, get him opened up and see what we're dealing with here. Because I mean, the box art's really good. And I've seen other reviews and I've always liked the look of this figure because of the detail. So let's get started here and see what he looks like. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just love the paint and the style for this figure here. All right. Let me see here. Get my trusty end cutters. Go ahead and get the main figure out. All right, got one more to cut here. There we go. Oh yeah. That's a good looking figure. And you can see where it's made to put the additions on for the rear. We've got all of the parts here. I'm not going to go ahead and open everything up now. I'm just going to kind of go through here, open these guys up, show you, and then I'm going to work on kind of get them situated and laid out the way I want to display them on my shelf here. So, good deal. That first one, MOTU Lock. Really cool guy here. All right. Move this one over. Okay, next here we're going to do Moss Man. And I'm still going to be careful about how I open these bubbles up because I do like to keep the card backs and the bubbles in good shape. So if I ever want to put these back in the package for storage, if I change up my display, you know, rotate some of the guys out because sometimes we can't always have every figure we've got on display the way we want to, because I do like to set them up to where we've got some type of a scene going on and not just have the static stacked in there 10 rows deep and you can hardly tell what figure's doing what. So I'm gonna pull these out and try to still save the bubbles in the card so that I can put everything back the way I want to when I'm not displaying them. So get my knife out here. There we go. Get it started. There we go. Try to cut around here so I cause the least amount of harm to the packaging as possible. There we go, got that side. Now let's do this side. There we go. And the way these, one thing I do like about the Classics, the bubble wraps around the bottom so that if you do a decent job just getting it loosened up on the sides, it still has, this one's got a little piece of tape here. There we go. Still have the hinge. So we can just hinge it open like this and pull the figure right out. This one's, all right, it's sticking just a little bit right here. There we go. All right. See, now we can slide everything right back in there, and it's still in really good shape, and it's easier to keep everything organized also. All right. Let's pull him out here. Mothman, always one of my favorite vintage figures also. There we go. Let's see. Got that. There we go. Feet free. Oh yeah. Yeah. Another, that's just something I just love about the Classics line, because back in 07 or 08 when these first started coming out, I was really heavy into getting the first few waves, you know. And for those of you that were buying them at that time, you know how difficult it could be to get these sometimes, because as soon as you signed in to MOTU Collector and the figures went live, I mean, some of them were sold out, you know, in less than a minute, and it could be difficult to get some of these figures, but just the quality on these Classics figures, and I love the flocking on this beast man here. He looks so good, and I really prefer the alternate head that they include with the figure here. So that's probably the one that I will swap out versus the more aggressive looking head. So yeah, I will probably swap those heads out when I put him on display. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna slide packaging right back in here. And again, that's what I love about these, because if I want to put him back in there, that's all I have to do, and he will be good to go. All right, so I'm gonna leave him setting up out here with his head. There we go. All right. Next, Grizzlor or Cyclone? Let's go Cyclone. I want to save Grizzlor for next to last, and then my final opening one will be Battle Cat. So, all right, let's get Cyclone here. Get that tear started. Go. There. Nice. This is another one of my favorites that I had when I was growing up, was Cyclone. I just always thought he was just a really, I love the colors, the color scheme. He was just the way he popped, and that's kind of the way I collect. I'm not one of these whole series completionists that I try to get every figure that's ever released for any of the particular lines. I always seem to gravitate towards the ones that I had and that were just my favorites when I was a kid, or getting the figures that I wanted that I wasn't able to collect when I was a kid. So, you know, I just go for the things I like, and I think a lot of us do that nowadays. We We don't necessarily have to have everything that's being released. I know that, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what, if that's how you collect. But I think a lot more of us now, we're looking for what scratches that nostalgic itch, the things that, that bring back those good memories of our childhoods growing up. And oh yeah, that's another good one again. And you can tell this is one of the later Masters of the Universe Classics figures, because later in the run, if you'll see here on the ankles, there's no exposed joints, whereas like on Moss Man here, you can see that pin where the ankle joint goes through. That Moss Man is one of the earlier figures. Cyclone came out a little bit later, and I want to say it was around 2012, 2013, somewhere right in there is when they changed the articulation on the ankle joints, because some of the early classics did have some posing problems because the ankles were loose. So they didn't want to stand up and pose the way that you always try to. But again, this Cyclone, he is just a really good looking figure. Really tight ankles. Stands up just easy. I mean, he's just right there. So that's awesome. I probably will later pull his ring out that goes on the back, attaches to his backpack back here, and give him his shield. But for time being, that's good right there. Yeah, I like these guys. Set that down here. Okay, time for Grizzlord. Again, one of my all-time favorites. I've still got an original regular Grizzlord from the vintage line. I've got the dark face Grizzlord from the vintage line. I've actually got, now I have two dark face Grizzlords for the vintage line, so I'll probably be getting rid of one of those because it was a situation where I picked one up and then ended up another one dropping into my lap. So probably be getting rid of one of my dark face Grizzlords at the next show that I set up for, or if I have any sales online. Sometimes I do the occasional Whatnot show and sell a few items, whether it be video games or some of my figures that I either no longer collect for, or I end up picking up in lots where I've already got a copy of that one. And I don't like to keep too many doubles of any given character. Pass them on to somebody that's needing that particular figure or looking for it. So, let's see here. Oh yeah. Again, like I said, Grizzlord's always been one of my favorite figures. There we go. Just always like that look. He's just iconic if you're fans of the whole Horde, any of the Horde figures. And the figure always had a lot different, more drastically different look than the animated series. And later in the line, after Mattel stopped producing the classics and Super 7 kind of continued that, and then they did their Filmation versions, they did a cartoon version of Grizzlord, and it looks pretty good. And later in the next unboxing video, when I do some of my Masterverse figures, because I've got a lot. I've been buying these for a while, and I haven't opened them because I didn't have the shelves set up the way I wanted to display them. So that's why I'm just now getting around to opening some of these guys up. And so I've got a lot of Masterverse to unbox. I got a lot of Origins to unbox. There we go. Let me get his hair fixed. He's got the Tina Turner look going on right now. Got that hair wild, but he's just a really good looking figure. Again, always been one of my favorites. And back to the Masterverse line. One of the things that I really like about the Masterverse Grizzlord is he's got a good mix of this and the vintage Grizzlord. Yeah, it looks good. You can see how much influence. Hold on one second. This is my display Dark Face Grizzlord, And you can see how much influence that original design had in the Classics version. So that's, yeah, that's cool. The fur even has a real similar feel and texture to the type of fur they're using. You can tell it's a little bit better quality and everything, but it feels very, very much the same. That's awesome. Let's pull the crossbow out, because you know, Grizzlor's got to have his crossbow. All right, yeah. Awesome. Let's see here. And he also comes with an additional, like a loin piece that you can put around his waist, belt and a loin piece. May or may not put that on, I haven't decided. And he comes with some swords and some additional weapons that the original Grizzlor didn't have. So I may display him with some of those. It just depends. I really like that traditional look with just a green crossbow. So awesome. And again, you'll notice as I go through opening in future shows the Origins and my Masterverse figures, I like to do comparisons. That's why I grabbed that Dark Face Grizzlor I got, and kind of show you the difference in the originals and that progression. Because if you're watching this, especially if you're a 80s kid, we were either born right in the late 70s or early 80s, and you grew up with these guys, you've got your favorites. So that's just kind of what I'm doing. I'll have multiple Grizzlors. I think I've got a regular Grizzlor vintage, a Dark Face Grizzlor vintage. I've got the Classics Grizzlor now. I've got the Masterverse Grizzlor. I've got an Origins Grizzlor. So yeah, I've got just about all the different versions of Grizzlors that have been made. There's still a few out there that I will pick up, but it just takes time. You know how it is. If we could buy everything we wanted all at once, it wouldn't be near as much fun. Plus, I like to hunt. I like trying to find things at shows and from people and friends that have stores or buy, sell, and trade on the side too, to help fund their addictions also. But okay, last piece is this Battle Cat that I got from my buddy John at the Gadsden Collector-Con. I've been waiting because I've really been wanting to get this guy opened up and see how he looks, because I love the style of this Battle Cat. Alright, there we go. See? Okay. Finally. Yeah. That wasn't exactly easy. Oh yeah. That is an amazing looking Battle Cat. I love the finish, the patina that they've got on his saddle and on his helmet. Just those details. There we go. Oh yeah. And what's a Battle Cat without his He-Man? It'll take some adjusting to get in the way that I want him to look, but yeah. That's what it's all about right there. Okay, well that's the first in what hopefully will be a series of videos unboxing a few of these figures. Again, I want to start with the classics because that's what everybody seemed to want to see. And I'm glad I started with these figures. I've still got plenty more to open up. I've got other totes full of classics, Masterverse, and Origins. When we get to the Origins line, I've got a ton of Origins to open because I haven't even really started on them much at all. But yeah, thanks for hanging in here with me. I know first time doing an unboxing and kind of putting some information out there, so I hope you enjoyed this. But before we go, just get one more last look. Battle Cat and He-Man, Grizzlord, Cyclone, and Mossman. Awesome group of figures here. I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for more videos.